Hi, everybody. Welcome to Judith's Jewelry Box. I'm Heidi Ripka, and joining me once again is my friend Gina Gannon. Hi,
Hi
Gina.
Heidi, how are you? Heidi, your rotation was so great. I got to check out a couple shows. I was on Facebook writing in saying, I love this, I love that. So I hope it was great. I hope it was
I
as
have
great
act-
as it looked.
I actually have to go back and look. I know that people commented on the shows, and I tried to go through it, but it was such a whirlwind, crazy week that it was just almost impossible. But something I have to do is definitely go check all those comments out. And thank you to everybody that did join us last week. I hope you all found something that you loved. I know a lot of you did. We had a incredible week, tons and tons of sellouts. I couldn't believe it. My head was spinning, but I was so happy because it just shows me that you loved what we brought and we're going to keep going with it. So thank you. And
I
Gina,
was happy. Yeah.
I almost had you pick me up last week or over the weekend, I should say.
Oh, wait, I saw your post. What happened?
We took off from Knoxville. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hour flight from Knoxville to LaGuardia.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden I realized like we should be landing and we're nowhere near New York. And fortunately, I was sitting next to someone that's a pilot for a private airline. And he's like, yeah, he pulls up some app and he's like, we're flying over Camp David right now and we should be like almost landing. They make an announcement that due to weather, LaGuardia was on a ground stop. And
Wow.
because we've been circling so long, we've run out of fuel. So we're going to be landing in Philadelphia. So I was like, oh, well, if I get stuck here, I'm calling Gina.
Yeah, I know. When I saw your post, I was like, I hope she was able to get a cheesesteak at the airport or something Philly-ish, you
I
know?
And a matter of fact, the pilot said there are these great Philadelphia pretzels. And we were all like, everybody on the plane was like, ooh, let's get off and get pretzels. And they're like, well, if you get off the plane, you need your boarding pass, you need all your bags, and then you need to wait until we re-announce.
Oh, yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah,
Not for
forget it at that point. Not for a pretzel. I mean, listen, if you want a pretzel, I can always hook you up.
you. Yeah, no, we just all wanted to get home at that point. So a 2 hour flight ended up becoming like over 6 hours. But, you know, it's an adventure every time you fly the friendly skies.
Yeah, it's so true, right? I feel like it's always something. But yeah, the rotation looked great. I love some of the new items, and I cannot wait for the show today
I
because I love turquoise.
You and me both. And we had a lot of gorgeous turquoise style
Yeah.
in the rotation. Plus, I brought here some pieces we didn't get to see. And turquoise is just one of those stones that I find to be so transformative. It goes great in the summer, it goes great in the winter. It's a year round stone, but it's one that I gravitate time and time again. I love how it has a different feel, whether it's set in sterling silver or 14 karat gold clad. It gives it like a totally different vibe, but such a beautiful stone with a very rich history. I mean, it's one of the first gemstones ever to be mined. Did you know that?
I did not. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, it dates back. Um, I mean, trying to think of when, like, literally, it goes back to like the easily the Ottoman Empire, like all the way.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow, that's so interesting.
and it,
And I love what you said because a lot of times I try and pull out my turquoise in the summer because I wear white, I'm tan, it like kind of all goes together. But then let me tell you, there are times in the winter I'm in all black. Well, I'm in all black a lot, but in the winter I'm in all black and turquoise just it just pops. So really it is, to your point, it's year round.
it really is a year-round stone. And the cuff that you have in your hand right now is one of my absolute favorites because it is such a statement piece. That one is like that's the type of piece that belongs in a museum. It is a showstopper. The color's gorgeous. It has so much rich detail. That's the cuff that people ask you about time and time again. It's from the Aurora collection. And so the whole top of that is encrusted with gemstones. So you have obviously the different cabochon turquoise stones on that cuff.
Yeah.
All right. Bezel setting with the texture. But what's really making them pop is that beautiful pave black spinel. And what we like to do a lot of times with black spinel is we do black rhodium so that it just reads black, but it sparkles like
Oh,
mad. because black spinel sparkles like a black diamond. There's nothing flat about it.
I just had a show last week of, all black spinel, and I was like, "I know you're thinking, 'Oh, Gina has these black diamonds,' because that's how black spinel pops in the light." But to do the rhodium with it, that really makes sense because it probably then makes it look even darker and kind of adds that drama and that effect.
Yeah, if we didn't do the black rhodium, what you would end up with are like lots of little specks of silver because we still rhodium plate, white rhodium the silver. But if we were to do that with the black spinel, you'd see all the little silver prongs holding in each of those stones, and it'd be
Right.
very attractive to the eye. This way, you have this beautiful black coating of the gemstones. I mean, I can't get over how much it sparkles, even as you're just holding it up to the camera
I
like that.
know.
Really
Exactly.
incredible. But then you have the turquoise. It just like magnifies it in the two sizes. So you have the larger turquoise front facing of that cuff, and then on the sides we rolled it around, and that's a great view of the cuff because it shows how it's just beautifully gently domed. And I'm actually wearing it also, so it is a nice high dome because it is a statement piece. You don't want it to be too flat. That gives it that voluptuous feel to it. And Gina, did you notice the texture on the back of this?
I know, it is so beautiful, but that's also kind of the marks of Judith Ripka, right? I mean, it's like all those little details.
And it has our signature kickstand hinge, so it's
Yeah.
nice and easy to put on, take off. Beautifully finished, rounded here, so it's nice and soft. We have our signature heart back plate inside. You can see the turquoise shining through there.
Mhm.
But this piece is so magnificent and so special. And I was like, you know what? If we're going to talk about turquoise, then I want to talk about this first because it's just one of those pieces that you can't stop looking at and oohing and ahhing over.
I honestly also feel like the black spinel makes the turquoise almost shine even more, believe it or not. Like, I feel like it's actually shinier because of the black spinel.
Yeah, it has a glow, it has a luster. And again, those turquoise stones, they're bezel set, but they have that Judith Ripka rope detail around it. So it's really rich. You have all that rich texture continuing to the back. It's that 360-degree design that Judith is so well known for, and it's executed so effortlessly in
It
the
really is.
cuff. It's amazing. And there is a coordinating ring to it. It's a wrap ring. But I decided because we sometimes like to coordinate and not be too matchy matchy, rather than present that coordinating ring with this cuff, I wanted to show people a different option. And so we have this ring as an alternative that you can use. Oh, you put it on also. I'm going to take mine off so I could show it.
Well, actually, really quickly though, just not to interrupt you, it looks like the necklace that you have on though goes
Oh,
perfectly with
oh,
it.
forgot about this. Yeah. So this necklace was actually in or supposed to be in this past rotation. I feel like we didn't get a chance to present it. I mean, honestly, we present so many styles in each show that by the time I'm done doing, I did 6 shows. I don't remember
Yeah, how can you, right?
what we didn't. So I don't know if we got to show this actually. Let me quickly take it off. And I wasn't planning on discussing it in this live stream, but just so everyone knows, this is JRJ 527. So basically, you have this
Pretty.
nugget in the center. And so it's front and back all around. It's all the pave black spinel, rope twist bezels around the turquoise cabochon gemstones. Then you have these end caps that also have the pave black spinel, but then the beads are these beautiful faceted black onyx beads, which
Ooh,
is really beautiful. And we have our signature Judith Ripka lobster claw on it, which is nice
so
because
pretty.
if you're traveling or you just want to have some versatility, you can wear it with the nugget in the back and hang an enhancer off of the
Yeah.
lobster claw. But yeah, thank you for noticing. This is a really spectacular necklace. Again, one of those statement pieces, but I feel like it's a necklace that you could easily wear with a t-shirt. It doesn't have to be with a blouse or a dress. It could just be worn as an everyday piece. So thank you for noticing.
Yeah, but I do love the ring too, but I saw it, I was like, "Let me just tie that in because it looks like it would go very well
This
together."
this is really pretty, and I'm gonna be wearing this a lot this summer. I know myself. This has my name all over it.
Yeah,
But back to the ring.
so pretty.
This ring is so pretty. It's cabochon turquoise, prong set. It has the halo of Bella Luce, and then the shank, which is a tapered shank, is all of our fluted Berger. It's an angled Berger, so it's not Southampton, but it's this rose. It's these rows and rows of our angled Berger. So it kind of feels like steps coming down around the ring. It's really pretty, and it's very. I don't know about what you think, but I think it's very comfortable on because of how it tapers. It's not too thick between your fingers, and it's
Yeah,
size.
I also feel like because of the shape, it does hug the finger so nicely.
Right? And it's one of those rings that because of the size, I'm not gonna be able to fit it on any finger, but it can go on any finger. So I have it on my ring finger, but it can very easily go on a pointer finger,
Love that. Yeah, that looks
on a
great.
middle finger. It can go on anything. But what's nice about this ring is that it can tie back to so many other styles. You're not gonna feel locked in. And as you were saying earlier, Gina, turquoise goes with so many colors, so many things in your wardrobe. You'll never feel limited with it.
No, and what I like about this one in particular, there's enough detail to kind of make it be like, "Wow, let me see that ring," but at the same time, it also is very neutral in terms of the style and the design that I feel like you really can wear it with everything, it can be that updated cocktail ring or the elevated cocktail ring, but yet, like, put a pair of jeans on, a white blouse, gorgeous.
Absolutely, and there's something about it that has a bit of a retro vibe to me. I love a lot of the, more important pieces that came out of the '60s and early '70s, and it does have a bit of that feel to me that, that socialite, old world, high jewelry. Something about that design just is reminiscent of that era to me. I was watching, like a month or so ago, Feud, Capote and the Swans, and
Oh, okay.
much of the jewelry that they wore, because that was also back in like the '60s and '70s. This feels like something that they could have easily put on back then.
Yeah, I really love the shape. That oval is so pretty.
Very finger flattering, very slenderizing.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Me
Beautiful.
too.
If you like cabochons, there's another cuff. Oh, I have it on this wrist that it goes great with. It's this upside down cuff. I'm going to take mine off to show everybody the details. This upside down cuff has this rose cut faceted cabochon tips, but then wrapping around the end cap are these small oval cabochon turquoise stones. They had the rope twist in between, but then ended with a row of pave belle luce, so there's lots of sparkle to them. And then you have more of that braided texture, ro-
Yeah.
rows of Southampton going around it. You have this little break here with the rope twist, but it goes all the way around the back. It's got our kickstand hinge, 360-degree designing with the back plate. But again, it's one of those pieces that you could wear in opposite. So if it ever rolls around, or if you want to just have a layering cuff as well, you could certainly turn it upside down. But it's an easy cuff to wear. This cuff is actually available in 3 sizes. We don't do that often on JTV. We're striving to do that, but this is available in small, average, and large. So if you need different wrist sizes, you can get that with this cuff.
I saw that and I was like, "That is," and I actually had that written down because that was really awesome to me because, again, a lot of times you don't see that for a lot of high-end lines. So, a few of them actually have that option as well, which is great, but I love the facets on the
The
ends here.
Beautiful. It's very rich, the facets. It's that extra designer detail that we love to do because sometimes designers just do matchy matchy and like, well, if it's smooth cabochons here, then it should be smooth cabochons everywhere. And one of the things
Right.
she likes to do, she likes to really mix it up And so that's what you're getting with that piece. You're getting that designer detail, that couture detail, because that's how Judith started with her high-end couture collection.
I wanted to ask you, is turquoise new for Judith? Is it something that she's incorporated a lot into the line? Has she done it for years? I'm
Dec
not so sure.
decades and
Oh,
decades
wow.
of stone that she loves, that we've used throughout the collection for as long as I could think of. It's a great stone. So if you've been already collecting pieces from the collection from Judith Ripka, you can mix it in with things you already have, which is nice. But turquoise goes with a lot of different stones too. So we showed it with black spinel. We'll look at it a few minutes with lapis. We love mixing it with lapis. But yeah, it's always been part of the collection.
I kinda I was looking up, like, what turquoise means, and it says, it symbolizes good fortune and happiness to those who wear it, and I kinda feel like that's sort of like the theme of the Judith line, right, in a way. It's
It
kinda like you wanna feel good in the jewelry, and you do because you get compliments, and so I just thought that that was very fitting in every way.
It's very fitting. And turquoise is one of those really interesting stones because of the way, first of all, it's mined all over the world. So, it's mined on the Sinai Peninsula, Iran. I mentioned earlier that it came through the Turkish Ottoman Empire. But a lot of it is mined in the United States. So there are mines in Arizona, in Nevada, in California, New Mexico. Some of the most famous mines, though, are in Arizona, such as the Sleeping Beauty mine.
Yeah.
That one closed in 2012, but the Kingman mine is still an active mine. And what's interesting about turquoise is that depending on how it's grown, it'll impact the color. So if it's grown
Oh,
with near copper, for example, and copper infuses into it, you'll get that range of blue hues. But if
like
iron is in it, that's when you get more of that green hue. There's very clean turquoise that you see, such as the Sleeping Beauty and the Kingman, but then there's some more that have a lot of matrix in it, which I believe when it's a lot of matrix, sometimes it can come from China. There's so many different variables that come into turquoise, like
that's
all
so interesting.
so interesting. And it's interesting that you could sometimes detect where it's been mined based on the color of it.
Yeah, that's so cool. I didn't realize that. I know about the Sleeping Beauty mine, and how, like, that is just so pure. You really don't see a lot of graining in that, and but you know what? These
Very
to me are like, I mean, there's I don't see any graining at all. They're beautiful.
A lot of turquoise also gets treatments. So there's stabilized turquoise. They're still natural. They have components of natural turquoise, but lots of treatments are done to it. Even, ancient times, they would do oiling and wetting techniques. Um, Sometimes when it's oiled, though, you'll see over time it'll bloom. That's when you see like a white film over turquoise.
Oh,
That can be
wow.
corrected. But yeah, stabilization, reconstitute it. I mean, millions,
Wow.
not millions, but a lot of different treatments are.
Man, you know so much. You're like a wealth of knowledge when it comes to all that. I love it.
I really should take a gemology course. I find it so interesting, but I've yet to have
Well,
enough.
it seems like you do.
Just years and years of working with these stones and researching them because I'm always inquisitive. I always want to know more about what I'm working with. But I really should eventually find time to become certified.
Oh my gosh, well, you seem so knowledgeable. But so I have to say, like in every show, if I have a show or in one of our shows, I have a pick of the show.
So do
And
share. Wait, let me say. Oh, okay. That is, yes. Is it the color? Is it the sugarloaf cut stone? Is it the whole ring design? That's a very pretty style.
oh
Which
my gosh,
you?
I'll tell you what it is. First of all, I love the clad. That gold clad with the turquoise is just something special. But not only that, I do like bling. So I love how on the sides and all around
Yeah.
you kinda see coming down the shank just a bit, you have those stones, the Bella Luce, and to me, just the shape, the size, the color. Can you tell me about the X on here? Like, what is that?
So this is a cut. It's called
Okay.
a sugarloaf. cut stone. And
Okay.
the first time I ever saw a sugarloaf cut stone was when I
So
first joined
pretty.
the company. Judith did these romance bangles, which we've launched actually, some of them on JTV. There'll be some more, I think, in the August show coming around. But so the original 18 karat gold romance stones, she did one where she used these sugarloaf cut stones, and that's what it is. So it's like a cabochon, but cut more like a pyramid. So
Right,
it's
because it is so smooth and crisp, it's not faceted, but yet you
right.
see all those like, that detail. But
Yep.
it's subtle, but I love it.
It's a very European cut. It's very
Okay.
sophisticated. You know, Judith was always, still does, find inspiration from everywhere. And so she's always incorporating different stone cuts. And I mentioned actually during the rotation how one of the things that really sets us apart from so many designers is we don't use standard size stones, we don't use calibrated stones. Most of our designs have special cut gemstones. So
Oh,
we
wow.
design the piece and then have them cut the stones to fit the piece. Where a lot of brands, to save money,
It's the opposite, right?
say, okay, these are the size stones that are available, let's design around it. The only
Mm,
ever really do that is if someone approaches us with a very special stone that we want to use, then we'll say, okay, we're going to do a special design around that stone so that we could use it.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so this is really beautiful. It has 6 prongs. All those prongs have the pave belle luce. And then, like you said, pave luce, the basket going partially down the shank. This setting we call royal pave setting, and that's when it's beautifully lined up the way it's set. And then it's trimmed with rope texture. And then you have rows of rope going down the shank to the sizing bar in the back. And then again, finished with our back plate. And this is available in both. Oh, I'm wearing it actually. It's available in both
Yep.
the 14 karat gold clad and the sterling silver. So I'm going to hold them both together so everyone could kind of see the difference, because I think to me, it's really personal preference. Are you a
Yeah.
silver girl or a clad girl? Because either way, they both look beautiful and read beautifully in the two metals. Really, really beautiful styles.
Yeah, this to me, like, when I opened everything, and this, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to get this," and I just want people to feel that when they pick it up as well, because it's just really special.
I could not agree with you more. Really
Oh,
special, really beautiful, really signature. Now I'm going to bring us back to some cuffs.
okay.
So I was saying earlier, I'm a big fan of mixing turquoise and lapis. And we have these two classic Judith Ripka hinged cuff bracelets where we did it in two-tone. So I don't know if you noticed, Gina, the bezels on here are 14 karat gold clad. So you have these cabochon turquoise stones and these cabochon lapis stones. You could stack them together. They're significant enough to wear on their own, and they have Judith Ripka through and through. So you have rows of flutes, rows of fine rope. It's a nice height. It's a little more modern, kind of squared off. You see beautiful cabochon gemstones. You get to the back where you have your little end caps here, hinge closure, and signature back plate. And that goes for both of these cuffs. So you have both the turquoise and the lapis. And I don't know if you noticed, I was looking online quickly because I forgot, but the turquoise is available in all 3 sizes. And I just
Yep.
want to double check the lapis that it's
From
still,
what I saw, it looks like it is as well.
it is. Okay, good. Because
Yeah, I specifically wrote that down because I was so impressed that we have 4 items in the show that are available in 3 different sizes.
which is amazing because I know so many ask me
Right.
about bringing in different sizes. And
Yeah.
I striving to it. I am. But these are all available in the small, average, and large. On JTV, they consider the 6 7/4 on this cuff your small, the 7 inch your average, and the 7 1/4 your large. So
But it's also nice too for that variety because if you do wanna give a gift and you're like, "You know what? I know that this person has this size wrist. Let me get them a little bigger option." Or sometimes you can't do that if if they're confined to something.
Absolutely. And so if you're liking the lapis version,
Yes.
we do also have a beautiful lapis ring to work back to. I know this is mostly a turquoise show. However, I can't leave you hanging and have just one lapis style and not a coordinating ring. So this ring is a departure.
So pretty.
It's not just because it's lapis and has all those beautiful gold. You see all the gold specks in the stone?
That's what I was gonna ask you. That's what I kept looking at. Like, that to me is so I've never seen that before.
Yeah, lapis is known for that. And this one is a beautiful one because I love that sparkle that you get from the gold flecks. It's a rose cut cabochon stone. So it's gently rolled, but it has the rose cut faceting. It is bezel set. The texture that you see in this basket, this is a texture that we call our ballroom texture. So it's fluted going around, and then you see those scattered beads for the ballroom. And then you get to the shoulders here, you have fluted wraps, and then you get to the shank, and we have pave bella luce, and then we continued down the shank with more fluting detail. And you don't need to be matchy matchy just because these are round cabochons doesn't mean your ring needs to be round, needs to be
Right.
cabochon or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I always think when we were talking this cuff, I think it makes it more interesting when you mix up your stone cuts. Everything coordinates, but doesn't have to be matchy matchy. It all
And
works.
that's my favorite aesthetic, to be honest with you. My mom loves matchy matchy, and I'm the coordinator, and so I really like that, but this to me reads office, business casual, but business like if you have a nice event, because of the size and the shape.
Yeah, exactly. And it can be dressed up. You have that pave belluce.
Mhm.
Is that
Right.
transitional piece that you could wear from day to night, which makes it, all these pieces. I don't think there's a single piece we've looked at where I'd say, oh, you can't wear that to go out to dinner. I
Right,
really
I agree.
or to an event even. I feel most of these pieces you could easily put on, with an evening dress.
Oh, so sorry.
One of the nice things, Gina, about our collection is that it's very durable. So even if you drop,
There you go. If you're
uh,
clumsy like I am.
dropping it maybe on a hard marble floor, the stone might not live, but
Right.
stone, you might be okay.
I wanted to ask you, that dome shape, that's a very interesting choice. What made you guys do that with the lapis?
We do a lot of that. So instead of doing a smooth cabochon, we tell them take the cabochon. So you want that rolled con convex shape,
Right.
and then rose cut it.
That
Really,
also really makes it more interesting because you have the gold flecks, then you also have the shape, and then the facets.
yeah, it's
So
a
interesting.
beautiful, beautiful ring. There's something very rich about lapis. And again, once you factor in gold flecks, it just makes it so interesting, so beautiful. It's one of those stones that you look into it, and because of the way the light reflects off of it, it just makes it mesmerizing stone to look at. I love lapis. We don't use enough of it. I think I need to find some more places to bring lapis into the collection because it is so pretty.
I agree, it really is, and this is kind of my first experience with it, and it is really stunning. I love how deep and rich it is.
It's a beautiful shade of, like, I wouldn't say navy, it's almost like a cobalt blue. It has that vibrancy
Right,
of cobalt versus a deepness like navy.
right. I agree.
Really, really pretty. Really pretty. And
And look at how it plays off this so nicely.
it does. And you're wearing the other cuff that we have that has lapis as well as turquoise in it. It's that frozen chain link cuff. So I stacked mine between the other two cuffs we were looking at with the cabochon gemstones. This one is on its own clearly a statement piece. You don't
Oh,
need
yeah.
it up at all. It's a nice width. And so this one has all cabochon gemstones. So you have the links with the cabochon turquoise, and then you have the connectors with the cabochon lapis. And then what we did was around the back, we continued the frozen chain link pattern, but instead of the gemstones, because I like to make sure that the jewelry is durable, we did our beads within each link, which is so, so pretty. Again, hinged, easy to wear. You could certainly wear it the way you have it, Gina, upside down, which is
And that's what I wanted to show too, because this just shows you that no matter how this moves, how you wear it, it's multi-purpose. You can wear it if you wanted to just show this the clad or the silver, whatever you wanted. That's what makes it so pretty and interesting.
absolutely. And again, I didn't mention it earlier, but if you're new to joining us, everything sterling silver in the Judith collection is rhodium plated. So it means it's white, it's bright, it's going to protect from tarnishing, it's much more
Love
durable,
it.
reflective, really beautiful. But this cuff, the details on it, the trim of the rope around all the beads. I mean, it's Judith Ripka through and through. And Gina, I think this one was also available in all three sizes,
It
right?
is. Yes.
Is
All three.
small, average, and large.
Yep.
And I'm going to also show you one other thing. It's a low profile, so it's very comfortable. It just kind
Yeah.
of around your wrist. It's not too hard, too high, and the cabochons are set into the links, so you don't have to worry about them banging on anything.
You know what I like too, if you are mixing, this is just like a little detail, but I like how you have 3 stones here, and then you have 3 here that kind of it just kinda ties it all in if you're
It
someone
all,
that likes to, coordinate in that regard too, but
it
that's
all,
just really pretty.
it all stacks and layers beautifully.
Yep,
And everyone knows that my belief is more is more. And so, whether you're looking at the first cuff, the first two cuffs that we looked at, you could easily stack those. I mean, how pretty. I'm going to hold it up here just so you can see all those together. That first
right,
old stone ring, the cuff with the black spinel, with the upside down,
gorgeous.
so pretty. Or if you go here, I mean, it gives it it's a totally different look.
That looks so pretty with the last, bracelet that we were just presenting in the center. I love that.
Yeah, right? They kind of just
Yeah,
book
like, it's like a bookend, yeah.
bookend it. And I'm always a big fan. I like wearing two rings whenever possible. So like
Yes,
my pointer, the turquoise Gina's host pick. Um,
yes, yes,
thing,
for sure.
it's a very cool look. I mean, this I would easily like today. I'm gonna go out and do errands. I'm gonna throw on later a white T-shirt, wear these, and it's a great statement look. With I'm always in jeans for the most part. So with a pair of jeans, it's so cool looking.
Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful. I loved all the pieces in the show, and I'm really glad that we did a whole show with turquoise, but then we showed the lapis. It's just really nice to kind of show the versatility. But then if people love turquoise, this show is perfect for them.
So yeah, far and away one of my favorites. And if anyone is interested, these are the double eclipse earring I meant to
They're
mention.
beautiful.
They're still available. JRJ 492. Although I hope by the time I said this that they haven't sold out because I know how that happens. But JRJ 492. So great earring. Again, this necklace was from the rotation. JRJ 527. Gina, this was so much fun. I missed you last week, but I'm glad we got to meet up again and do it. And we have another show next Wednesday, right before 4th of July.
Yes. And I just wanted to let everybody know, I'm sure you've been all seeing me like take drinks and, things have been changing recently. So I just wanted to announce that I am pregnant again. I'm expecting twins.
Twins, and not just twins, because Gina just shared this with me. Uh, Identical twins.
Crazy, like mind blown. It's so crazy. Um,
Blowing.
but what's so interesting is that because, this is a little different of a pregnancy than it was with my daughter, because obviously it was one. I find that now I just wanna feel really good because it's taking a toll a little bit, that I find myself accessorizing more because I'm like, "It makes me feel better," you know?
Right. Dress in all black and then put on
Ex
jewels, and then
Pretty much.
you feel like yourself. Just
Exactly.
with 2 little babies kicking inside.
Oh, man, I know. So, bear with
Wait,
me if you see me taking sips.
what did you say your due date is? Can I ask? Do you care?
It's, October 4th,
Ooh, okay. Okay.
so we will see. It could be a Libra baby, I'm not totally sure. Oh, but speaking of that, I was looking up the zodiac for turquoise,
Yeah,
and, I believe it said Aquarius.
okay. And
Yeah,
it's
is the zodiac.
and it's the
Yes,
so hey. Yeah.
interesting.
Anyway, so congratulations. I'm
Thank you.
so excited for you, and I hope you feel great throughout the entire pregnancy. And
Thank you.
thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. And we will see you next Wednesday for some more Judith's Jewelry Box. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, bye-bye.